Joint States Special Forces supposedly executed a Goliath in Kandahar, Afghanistan in 2002. The episode has been accounted for by different sources, with a few onlookers guaranteeing that a fight with the monster not just ended the life of an American trooper, however that the legislature flew the huge carcass of the assailant back to the United States. A Department of Defense representative said they have no record of such an episode, however numerous blame the U.S. government for endeavoring to cover it up. WND reports. Columnist and specialist L.A. Marzulli investigates the terrific charge in the most up-to-date portion of The Watchers, the blockbuster arrangement examining the genuine proof behind the Nephilim. These animals were the posterity of the children of God, the holy messengers, and the little girls of men. In Genesis 6-4 and Numbers 13:33, the Bible discusses Goliaths populating the earth. At the point when standard individuals saw them, they said we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, thus we were in their sight. A peculiar section, yet one Marzulli battles is upheld by confirm. Additionally, these Goliaths didn't simply exist in scriptural circumstances yet live on through the present day. As indicated by one of the meetings in the program, a Special Forces group working in Afghanistan in 2002 experienced one of the animals while on a watch searching for a lost unit in a confined piece of the nation. The officer discloses to Marzulli his unit advanced along a goatway almost given where the group saw a surprising theme of rocks, bones, and, forebodingly, a broken bit of interchange as hardware of the sort utilized by the American military. While considering this, the group was astounded by a man no less than 12 to 15 feet in stature. The animal had since quite a while ago, red hair and speared one administrator, distinguished as Dan, with a pike-like weapon. The rest of the group opened fire, over and over shooting the animal in the face and in the long run slaughtering it. The full length of the commitment was just 30 seconds. After the fight, while grieving their fallen confidant, the military sent a helicopter to expel the animal. "It was too huge, we couldn't move it," the fighter guaranteed. "It noticed more regrettable than a skunk, a body that has been around for some time." The correspondence was conveyed that we had a huge, potentially human animal. Be that as it may, the fighters were advised a short time later to revise their after-activity reports. "So we needed to modify it how they would have preferred it," the man guaranteed. The warrior affirmed the Goliath was outfitted with a weapon like the sword Marzulli recognized as the Nephilim spear, found at another area and attached to other confirmation of the presence of this animal. Different sources bolster this peculiar story. George Neary, host of the uncontrollably well-known radio program across the nation, shows up in the film to talk about his meeting with a C-130 pilot who claims he transported the Goliath's cadaver back to a base in Ohio. The pilot said the animal was roughly 12 feet tall and weighed around 1,100 pounds. "It just seems like the Nephilim from the Bible, doesn't it?" Neary enthused. Marzulli unpacked what he called an administration push to conceal the tremendous story and keep those included from the standing up. "Individuals have a privilege to think about this stuff," he said. "On the off chance that there are 15 or 18-footers meandering the earth and our military has cut them down, we have a perfectly fine residence to think about it. That is to say, this isn't grouped military stuff. This is something we have to know. What's more, it indicates back the scriptural prophetic account." Another administrator who addressed Marzulli said people with great influence have a personal stake in keeping the story concealed. "On the off chance that it focuses to the Bible's story being exact, they don't need it," he said. "On the off chance that it conflicts with Darwinian advancement, it's not to be talked about." This fighter affirmed there were bits of gossip at his base in Afghanistan about the commitment with what wind up known as the Giant of Kandahar. "We began hearing talk about a unit that murdered what they were calling an extremely tall individual," he told Marzulli. "At first I didn't consider anything it. I come to discover that the individual they killed was in reality 3 times the measure of a man, had additional digits staring them in the face and on their feet, and had red hair. A unique unit had come and needed this objective. We'd heard they'd slaughtered this thing inside a given or the mouth of a surrender." The warrior asserted the talk was quite flowed among military powers in Afghanistan. There was regular information among the military to hear this, he charged. A long time later I came to discover when I had come back from Afghanistan and had met other military individuals that had not been in the activities with me. In the event that you would raise the giant of Kandahar, they'd think about it. He admitted the story sounds strange. At first you think, this must be a joke, this must be lie, he conceded. At that point, after things go down a specific way, and you continue hearing it, you begin to understand it as anything but a joke. They continued instructing us to keep our weapons high, which implies typically you are prepared to place 2 in the chest on in the head, yet they continued instructing us to put it towards a man's head and put it higher. So we would address, for what reason do they need us to shoot higher than a man's head? The trooper likewise said neighborhood individuals recounted apparently strange stories about monsters who might assault people, even eat them.